Uh, Hi guys, good afternoon. Just we can continue with that application. Okay, I'm sharing my screen here. Uh, Here, going to this one, just I'm adding to the one of the record here. Just uh, see here, just I'm adding the same, and then course is the React. Whenever I'm submitting the form, it will redirect to the table. Here we get the last record as the SAM React. So what I'm doing at the time is just go to the application here. See here at the time after the route I'm giving the router now. Before that I'm giving activated route. So that's the reason I'm getting the error for that navigation by URL. So now I'm correcting that thing is a router here, and then based on that I'm giving the navigation by URL going back to the one of the slash. So here, whenever here localhost 4200, whenever I'm clicking on that, here it will showing the slash create. So whenever we submit the form, whenever click on the submit button, it will go back through the one of the slash. So it will bring the one slash. So that will be it showing to the localhost 4200 here. Now here two operations are completed. One is the get operation, and then is the next one is the post call. That is the create method. Now we need to just I'm placing only two buttons for the every record, but I want to do the two operations. Now I'm clicking on it, but it is not working here. So because of the I didn't do any functionality for this. So I'm do the functionality for this. But previously I said, now also I'm telling what that means. If you do the any functionality with the server, first we need to create the method in uh, data service. So in the data service file, here I'm having only the data service file. Yeah, here in the data service, I'm getting only the get course list and create course, right? So now I'm creating the one of another method for whenever I'm edit the button. So at the edit time, when I'm clicking the edit button, I want the first record. See here, I'm go to the browser. Here, whenever I'm getting the edit button, I want the form with details of the name and course, right? So whenever I'm clicking on the edit button with the form, I want the details within the form. So first I want to get the details, then only I will update the details. So first I want to create the method for get the codes. Okay, here the create course. Next one is the get course. So because of the I want to just get the data within the form. So for that, I'm writing the method is get course. In this one also same, I'm using this same thing return this dot http dot. Here I'm using the get method only. So I'm using the same URL. With that URL only, I'm getting the data. Sorry. Here observe that whenever I'm clicking on the edit button, I want the details. Which details I want? Based on the ID only, I want the details. So for this here, I'm posting the data. So that is the reason I'm passing the parameter is course. But here, I want to get the data based on the ID. So that is the reason in get course within the params, I'm passing the course ID. The course ID. So whenever I got the course ID, here I'm get the ID. So now here I'm not using the quotations here. Just I'm using the tilde here. Tilde means this is the down button of the escape button. I'm using the tilde. After that only I'm taking this URL. So I'm taking this URL and then I'm attaching the ID through this URL. So how we can bind the ID to this URL means just uh, place the hash key, hash, and then after that we need to bind the data by using the dollar sign. After dollar sign, we will use the curly braces here. So in this, I'm passing the course ID. So this is the method here for that get course. Here I'm passing the ID within the URL only. So that is the reason I'm binding the ID within the URL only here. So now I'm get the data. So this method need to call in edit button, right? So here go to the home page. Here we are having only the buttons, right? So here in this I'm giving the router link here. So I'm not going to directly any edit page. So that is the reason here I'm taking only the router link. Already we do in create page. So that's the reason I'm directly creating the here slash edit. Okay. Here whenever in browser we will check this. Click on the edit button, it will go into the edit works. But I want the form here also. So same form I will use in this edit. So I'm going to the edit page first. Then in this edit.html, I'm removing this thing. Here also same form I need to do, but I'm copying the entire form with the create component because of same form only I'm using here. So I'm selecting all the thing here from the create component and then edit component. I'm placing the thing here because I'm copying only the HTML form only. So in here edit.component.ts we need to first student form group is there. Student form group, quick fix, and then important from it. And then within the constructor we need to take that uh, we need to take one private variable here. Private variable that is a FB form builder. Again, we need to import this one based on the quick fix and I import from the Angular form. So here it will be imported. And then here now I'm using the form builder within the constructor. I'm using this dot student form is equal to this dot form builder dot group. Within this group, I'm binding these two things. One is the name, and then another one is the course. I'm taking only the two variables, so that's the reason just I'm taking same as in create component. So this done. Up to now, form is okay. Whenever we click on the edit button, we can get the form. Okay, student form. I'm not write the submit form. That's the reason we are getting the error. Now I'm using the submit form method. So I'm saying the form again, and then I will check again. Here is there whenever I'm clicking on the edit button, the form will be open, but we are not getting the data, right? So that is the reason only in service file we are written the one of the method that is the get code. So now I'm calling this method get codes in edit.component.ts. Before that, we need to fetch the ID first. So without ID, we can call the data, but we should not get that. But first of all, we need to get the ID from that. So I need to get the ID from the data. So that's the reason here I'm accepting one thing is route and router here. One I'm taking the one of the variable private route. There's the activate route. For this, based on the activate route, here I'm achieving the first ID. Based on that ID only we get the data. Here I'm taking the one of the one variable here to store the ID. So for that purpose, I'm taking one is that course ID. And giving the data type is any. So if you give the number also, there is no problem because of ID is always in number. So I'm mentioning the data type is number. So here I'm writing the so here I'm storing the ID within the course ID variable. This is the variable only. I'm declaring the variable with the data type of the number. So this dot course ID equal to this route is nothing but the activated route. So on that snapshot I'm using with the params, I'm get the ID. So based on the params only we are getting the ID from the database. Now I will try to get that things. Now writing a ng on init here. So this dot ds dot in ds I'm getting. So here ds is not available for me because of I'm not injected in constructor. So that is the reason here again I'm injected the dependency. I'm taking another one variable is the private ds data structure, sorry, data service. Here the ds variable is declared here. So that's a then now I'm tapping the ds and select the ds. After that, putting on the here I get the three methods because of now in data service we are get the three methods. One is the get course list, another one is the create course, and then next one is the get course. So I want now using the get course method, right? So in that get course I'm passing the ID. So based on that ID only, I will get the data whenever I'm clicking on which record I want to edit. So based on that ID, we will get that particular record. So here in that course ID, I'm having the ID. So that is the reason here I'm passing the this dot course ID as a parameter. Now I'm subscribing this method. After subscribing, I'm getting the data. So the data I'm calling as response. So that response is any. So again here I'm taking to store the response into the form directly. That is the reason here I'm taking the this dot student form dot get. So in that get I'm keeping the name as name. So I'm set the value here. For this reason here I'm using a set value. So I'm set the whenever I get the response, that response should be I'm set the values to the form. So in the response, I'm getting the values, right? So response dot, sorry, here this response, I'm getting something, I'm using the small letter. I'm using control Z, just I'm using response. Or either here I'm using only res here, res dot name. So here also I'm reviewing the response, just I'm taking only res. Res is nothing but a response instance. Okay, here I'm getting the value here. And then same here, same thing. Next one field is the in student form, I'm having the another field. This dot student form dot get thing is course. So I want to set the data again. So that is the reason I'm set the value, set value. In the response only, I'm getting the value. So that is the reason here I'm using the res dot course. So now this is done for the getting the data. So I will try getting the data or not. Going to the browser and then here clicking on the edit button. We are not getting the data. Okay, just we will pass the data again. Check whether it is coming or not. Vector response with the 404 error. So okay, in data.service. Source ID we are using here. Source ID next going to the edit.component.ts. Component.ts get course this dot course ID. Subscribe response. Okay, we are done anything in the here. So 1 second, I'm refreshing the application. Yes. Okay, course ID is not getting, so that's the reason here we get undefined. So that's the reason we are not getting the details. So the user ID we need to keep in proper way. Here I'm using the parents route, Snapchat forums, and then routes any here. So here just I'm grouping the data type here, repeat any. Now I will check that. Also it's not getting it. Okay. Edit component implements on it. Okay. Just give me 1 second. So here not getting the ID. We are not passing the ID here. So this here we are not getting the ID. So we need to check it. I'm closing the terminal here. Just 1 second. I'm moving to the code. And then some component of this. Edit, edit component of this. Here again, I'm running the application. Give me 1 second. I'm again run the application here. Just in this go. It will take the little bit time to successfully. So and then it will automatically open. So it is a browser. Post. Pasting the URL. Here I'm having this data here in this one. So now I'm editing the data. It will be coming with the data. So here I'm getting the ID, right? So now I want to change the data here. I'm removing this one. Just I'm doing only the JSON. Whenever I'm submit, it click on. It's not work because of the in the submit. I didn't give the button type and then it didn't write the any update method for that. So here I want to give the button type here. So in edit dot for the table I'm given in the home component. So I'm moving to the home dot component dot html. Here I'm giving the router link here and then not giving the any button type, right? So for this, so now I'm creating type equal to button here. So it will work now for the button only. So it will now for the button only, but not, I didn't write any update for that. Just only whenever I'm clicking on the edit, I'm getting the uh, details based on the ID. So here I'm clicking on the last record, it getting the Sam and React. So now I want to do the method for the update in the service file first. For that service file, just I'm write the logic for the service file for the update. See, in update is not there in the technical word for that in services calls. So I'm using the word as a put. So that is the reason here update course. So after the update course here also, uh, for the update course here, return this dot http dot put. Here I'm getting the get for that get the course. Here also get we are using for getting the courses. Here I'm using the post for the add. Here I'm using the put for the update. I'm using the same thing here. Just I'm copying this thing here. Because of here also we need to pause the same thing here. Because of here also we need to pause the ID and data. Here we are get the data based on the ID. So here we need to pass the data and ID. Because of here we are updated the data, right? So uh, we are updated the data. Where should we store this data? So based on the same ID, na. So because of only here I'm passing the body here, comma course. I'm passing the both ID and course here. So because of I'm passing the parents here, that's the course. I'm giving the type any. So course ID. So I'm passing the both course ID and course. Whenever I'm updating the data means the data will be stored on the record based on the ID. So this is the done for the update thing. And then I'm going to the in edit button in edit component in edit.component.ds. We need to give the method here in submit form only. So in submit form we need to write the things here. Here also we need to in constructor, where is it? Yeah, here I'm taking the another private variable, private DS. Already we know about the DS means data service. Here I'm getting the sorry, it confusing here, so I'm adding it last. So already data service injected here, right? So that's the reason I'm deleted that. Already injected here. So in submit form, I will write the this dot DS. In DS dot now I'm the four methods, right? So that is the reason it will show in the four methods. Now I'm working with that update course so that I'm selecting the this thing. So now in this params, I'm pass the this dot student form dot value. I'm passing this value. Along with this, I'm passing the source code because of the sorry, not source code, course ID. Here I'm passing the value ID, and then I'm subscribing this method. So after the I'm getting the response here using arrow function. Then now I didn't get any response. This will be updated in the table. So now I'm clicking on the submit button. I want to go back to the uh, table. So that's the reason just I'm giving the this dot router dot navigation by URL. So just I'm removing one of the hash. So I'm saying this thing and moving to here. So here I'm refreshing the things and then I'm going to edit this one. Just I'm keeping this JSON only, and then I'm deleting this code into TypeScript. I will type here, and then now I'm submit the button. So I'm submit the button. This will be reflected into the table, right? Observe here. I'm observing this. I'm updated the first record, one JSON and TypeScript. Here, uh, I'm updating the third record here. Ramu having the RA capital here. No? So I want to edit the thing. So here I'm clicking on the third letter. Here just I'm giving the R only capital. Remaining thing is the A small. So I'm saying the thing. See here, Ramu is edited and updated. So this is the first only for the edit only we are giving to this thing. we need to do the two methods for the edit only. First one is the get source, get course. Second thing is the update course. So that's the reason just we are calling the two methods for the edit only. Now delete is not working here. So now we are do the functionality for the delete method. So some same as in service file we need to do that. So in service file we need to write the next method for this delete. Delete also we need to pass the ID because of the if you want to delete anything means we need to mention the ID, right? So that here I'm passing the course ID here. For that course ID here I'm copying the same thing here written this dot http. HTTP is main for all the API calls here. So delete method and then within the parentheses now I'm passing the ID, right? So same as in the get. Sorry, in get course passing the ID, where get the details, right? So same as here I'm copying the same thing within the T. I'm using the same URL here. Same I'm saying the ID with the passing the ID through the URL here. So this up to now delete URL delete method is completed in the data service. Now I'm going to the edit where we write the delete button. On that button, TS file we will write and call this delete method. So in home component we are get the delete. So I'm write the method for this. This is the click method. I'm write the click method. So here delete course. I'm passing the parameter is course.id. I'm passing the course.id here. So in home.component.ts only I'm having the method delete course. So this is the delete method for this, and then I'll be write the logic for this. Here also I'm passing the parameter as course ID, type equal type number. I mention the type here. So in this delete course, I write the this dot ts dot delete course method. So here I'm having the delete course. In this one also I'm passing the parameter is course ID. So because of based on that ID only I'm deleting the things. So subscribe the method same as remaining all the things and then here we get the response. So response any I'm giving the data type for this and then using the arrow functionality we did not get the any response here because of we have deleted the record. The record automatically deleted and we are not getting the any update. So now again whenever clicking on the delete button and then I'm going to the refreshing the table. Okay, so here I'm just refreshing the table is get courses is the get course list, right? This method. So this method calling within this method. So just I'm taking the get courses method. I'm saving the thing. I'm going to the browser here. Just please check on here just before the I'm doing the delete. Just I'm refreshing this page. So in this JSON server courses, we are having the five things, right? For that, now here RAM and empty source is there. At the time, I'm not giving that one. So now I'm deleting this record. So record is deleted, right? So 1, 3, 4, 5 is there, ID names. 2 is deleted. Now I'm checking in the thing. Here is there, but I'm refreshing the page. Just I'm not doing anything here. Just I'm refreshing the page. The records will be 4 only. Because of here for the delete, just we are passing the ID with the method. Then that record will be automatically deleted. Here just I'm deleting the last one. So it will be deleted. So and then it will be showing to the updated tables here. So this is the process of the completing the things of the CRUD application here. Just structural diaries is completed morning. Any question and answers is there means just please ask me and then I will explain. Uh, we will practice on the CRUD application. Here, this is the process of the do the CRUD application. Just first in data service only we are doing the calls for the get course list. We will we are fetching the data from the JSON server. And second one is the create course. We need to add the records to the table. For that purpose, we are create the create course method here. Next one is the get course. Whenever we click on the edit button in the form, we need the details. So that's the reason we are calling method is the get course. Whenever we updated any data, so we need to store the updated data again means we need to call the update course. And then last one is the delete course. So these are the API calls, and then we are calling these methods into the our files, and then these methods contain the data throughout the application. These are the service methods. Already I said you what about the services means. Services contain the methods. These methods contain the maintain the data throughout the application. So in here home component in HTML just I'm having the uh, edit and delete. So delete only I'm writing in TS. So here only get courses and then delete course two methods only I am calling in home component TS file. Next in create just I'm having only the form. So that's the reason here I'm only calling the create course. In edit component we are having the edit. So that's the reason here we are get the only get course and update course. Five calls will be five calls are written in their TS files, TypeScript files. These are the method service methods calling in our TypeScript file and fetching the data to the forms, and then that all the operations are done in the application. So is there any doubts? Please ask me. Up to now, this is the complete topics on this workshop, and then this is the process. This is the theoretical explanation. If you are done with this, we will go on live CRUD application. Okay. Uh, Anil, are you there? Kumar from full form of the CRUD application means CR means create, U means update, D means delete. You can do the create, edit, delete both those operations on the one application. It is called as a CRUD. Yeah, anything else? Any doubts, any questions?
Okay, we got a
No.
question here.
Yes, yes, Anil.
Yeah.
Yeah, here the difference between the service and routing means just routing is it will be change the one template view to another template view. Now I'm clicking on the edit button, it will go to the edit form. Whenever I'm clicking on the create, it will go to the create component. But service means it will be transferred between the data from our application to server, server to application. Here I'm using the service to fetch the data from the JSON server. So service is a mediator between through the service contains the methods that maintain the data. So routing is just it can be changed the one template view to another view.
The mics are being open for the questions. You have any doubt, you can start on asking the questions, please.
Hello, ma'am.
Yeah, please tell me.
Ma'am, service component has methods, right, ma'am? Isn't there any methods for routing component, ma'am?
Yeah, routing for there is no methods. Just that one we need to create the path for it. First, at the creation of application, it is asking if you want routing or not. So at that time, just you click on the S in our application app.routing.module.ts file will be created. So within that, you can give the path for that. And then if you want to give the buttons routing, then you can use the router link for that.
Okay, ma'am.
Thank you.
Any more questions?
Ma'am,
If you have
once could you repeat the directives, madam? Structure, attributes, and components.
Yeah, here we are having the three directives in Angular. There is the attribute directives, component directives, and structural directives. Uh, in that attribute directives, we are using ng style and ng class. In the name only we are having ng style. Means we are apply the styles for that application. So ng class and ng style both are using for the classes and styles to that one. Next, coming to the component directives is the special directives that will be has a template URLs only. And then coming to the structural directives, we are using the structural directives three things. ng is ng for ng switch. Same as in switch case, we are using the cases like as C. Switch case 0, 1, 2, default. Yes, right. So other case, we are using the switch case. And then if you use the any true or false, at that time we are using the if, ng if. Here ng star ng if using for the boolean values only. And then ng for we are using for the rendering the HTML list. So now in my JSON server having the 4 records. So that is the reason I'm rendering the HTML list. So in my application, I was used ng for only. Okay.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you, madam. Madam, these component directives are also called as behavioral directives, ma'am.
Yes, yes.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Anyone have any questions or queries regarding anything? You can raise your hands and you can questions.
Guys, don't hesitate to ask the questions. You can ask any question. It's a small one or big one, something like that. You can ask any question.
Ma'am, after the completion of the session, we hope to share your PPT of 66 slides and each and every component code like edit and credit code.
Yeah, sure. We will check and let you know. Okay.
Okay.
I think all are having the Visual Studio Code in our systems now.
Yes, ma'am. Both Visual Studio and Node.js, ma'am.
Yeah. Okay, just 1 second. Uh, Guys, how many member having the Visual Studio Code? If you are having the Visual Studio Code on Node.js, means I'll be helping to you to do the thread application now. So now if you want to install now only, means I'll give the time to you, and then I'm helping you to how to install that both Visual Studio and Node.js. Guys, please give the response, and that only I will helping you. Yeah, guys, are you installed the Node.js in your local systems? Yes, we will provide the certification for this workshop.
I think you can continue with the thread application, Teresa.
Yeah, and then okay, guys, if you are having the same thing, same Node.js and Visual Studio Code is there, just doing same as I'm doing the same thing, just do in your systems as usual. Just I'm doing as much as slowly.
Please stop us wherever you get stuck or wherever you wanted us to ask questions. Okay, we'll be going as much as possible, as slow as possible. So if you have any doubts at any point of time, just let us know. We'll stop there and we'll continue from there itself.
Yeah, in my folder, just on desktop, I'm creating the one folder here. So that folder name is that Angular. Okay. Oh, already in my system, I'm the same thing. Creating the new. Angular app, that's the Angular application. So I'm creating the one folder here. So I'm clicking on that folder. So here I'm having the path here. I'm click on there and type the command is cmd. It will opening in the terminal. So here I'm giving the command is code space dot. Whenever I'm hitting the enter, it will be opening in the Visual Studio Code. See here, I'm going to the terminal and then selecting the new terminal here. Here I'm getting this thing. So I'm creating the new application here. Command is ng new. Now I'm giving the my application name is application. So this is the project name application. and hit on enter. Hit the enter. Here, this will be asking about that our application is tricky or not. I'm closing the remaining things here. So here I'm giving the no for this tricky. So here routing, I want routing. So that is the reason I'm clicking on the S. Here I'm choosing the SCSS, and then the application will be start the installation of the folder structure. So it will take the 1 minute of time to install the things. Here it will take the time to install all the node modules and packages, source structure, all the things. So it will be installing only the folder structure only, but we are not getting the node modules now. So we will wait little bit more. Their node modules also installed now. So after this completion of the all the packages, it will showing the packages will be successfully installed. After that only we will creating the components here. So if you struck anywhere, once raise your hand and raise your question on chat box. Then we will help you. Yeah, almost done this thing. Because of node modules are heavy, so that's the reason it will take the time.
Sirisha, there is a question in chat box from Aparna.
Okay. Oh, after that Visual Studio Code, just go to the terminal. In terminal, click on the new terminal. Here, terminal is there. No? Just after that, click on the new terminal. After the new terminal, you will get this. Yeah, in that, just type the command ng new. After that, whatever you want to give the application name, just give that. Just I'm giving the command is this one, ng new application. So if you want to give the any other name replacing with the application, just give ng new Angular application or either ng new something, whatever you want. If you want to give that name. Okay, here successfully initialized Git. So okay, here all the things will be done here. So now I'm creating. Yeah, okay. Here now I'm creating the components here. So in Angular app, now I'm going to the application, cd space application. So now it will jump into the project. So now I'm creating the commands here, but without confusing, for your reference, I'm using the same at morning. What I'm taking the components means that thing only I will do again here. So here I'm creating the components is command ng generate command. Command name is I'm doing the CRUD now, so I'm taking the folder is CRUD, and then in this folder I'm creating the home. See here, if you give the one word means it will take the component name. But now I'm taking the CRUD after that home. Here I'm using the slash. If you give the here like this, what happened means just creating the one folder. Within the folder only we get the home. So see here I'm expanding the source, and then after expanding the app means it will showing the CRUD. So in that CRUD I'm having the home component. Okay, like that only I'm creating for that create and edit. Okay, same here, just I'm moving this home and then create the create component. So same as in that CRUD folder only we will get the create. See here in create CRUD, create and home. So same as I'm taking the edit for this. So I'm getting the three things within the CRUD folder here. So guys, if I'm first means, please raise your hand. Then I will continue with a little bit slow. So now I'm creating the three components. Now I want to give the routing for these three components. So in this app routing, I'm giving the path for the three things. Yeah, for that path already a morning tell you. Here I'm giving the empty. Okay. Oh, here I'm giving the empty. Then the component should be home component. Here I'm selecting means it will import it automatically. Same as I'm doing the remaining things. Here I'm giving the word as create. If you give the create, it will go into the component, create component. And then again, I'm creating the for edit. And then component is edit component. Yeah, I'm saying now. Up to now clear. Up to now it is clear for you. Okay, for this routing is completed. Now I'm moving to the home component. So here in home component, just wait. I will execute this one. So ng servo. So then only it will be easy to observe what we have done in the things here. So in that in home component, I'm deleting this one. Just I'm giving the one of the thing is create. In that create, I'm creating the router link here. In router link, the here small or L is the so in this again we need to give in the square brackets only. Yeah, guys, please check the small letters and capital letters and spelling of the code. So here in Angular, this is the very important. Whenever give the replacing with the small letter to capital letter, it will be very difficult to identify the error. now I'm opening this the default. So I'm deleting the thing in app.component.html. Just I'm keeping only router outlet. Remaining things will be deleted here. Now it will showing only create, right? So whenever I click on that, it will go to the create works. So in create works, I have to create the form. So I'm creating only simple form. In that form, I'm taking the div. In the div, I'm taking the one label for name. Okay. Second thing is I'm taking the input for this. Within the
Risha, we lost your voice.
yeah. Just 1 second. Just power down and came.
Okay.
Now is it clear?
Yeah, it is fine.
Yeah. Thank you. Here I'm taking the one form, and then within the form, just I'm taking the one div. Within the div, I'm taking the one label for the name, and then I'm taking the input for that. In that input, I'm mentioned type equal to text, and then next thing is the form control. What this form control means? For this field, we need to control by using the form control. I'm using the class form group. For the same thing, I'm copying this thing, and then here I'm branch. Okay. Here form control name also here I'm changing.
Risha, there is a network issue I think from your side. Your screen is also flickering. Voice is also breaking.
Branch. This is for the two fields. Power పోతొచ్చండి. Guys, am I audible now?
Yes, Risha, but your screen is not visible properly. There is some, no, it's not visible
Yeah,
properly.
okay. I'm
Could you please,
resharing my screen. Yeah.
yeah,
I'm resharing my screen. Ansha, yeah, is it okay now?
yes, it's fine now.
Yeah. Here, for this form, just I'm taking the one of the button type equal to submit, and then here the submit. For this form, I'm taking the one of the form name is form group. Form group for this form group, I'm taking the student form. After this, for the submission, I'm taking the ng submit here. So this is the syntax, and then this is the reactive forms. So that is the reason here I'm taking the ng submit. So for this, I'm taking the submit button, submit form. Or either just if you take the submit, is it okay for this? Just for your reference only, I'm taking the submit form. Okay, this is completed for the reactive forms. Now we got the error because of the before that do the forms, we need to install the forms in app.component app.module.ts. So here we need to import the here, don't confusing it. After the creation of the forms, we get the errors. Because of the here we need to import the forms module. Here the forms module, and then again we are using the reactive forms. So that is the reason again I'm installing the reactive forms module. So it is not one here quick fix, then choose the import from the Angular forms. Okay. Now I'm saving the form again. Then again I'm going to the again we are having the submit form. Now this is the create component.ts. Here I'm taking the method submit form. Okay. Here then for the submit button, I'm saving this. Now, yeah, here capital letter. See, if you miss the capital letter, small letter, we are replacing. Then also we will get the error. Yeah, student form. Now in here, I'm declaring student form is the variable, and then this is the form group, right? So that's the reason I'm mentioning the form group here. So again, I'm placing the cursor on it. It shows the quick fix, and then I'm importing the form group from the Angular forms. Okay. In the constructor, I'm taking the one of the private variable that is the FB, and then for that FB is the form builder. Form builder. So again, you can place the cursor and then click on the quick fix. It will showing to the import. Okay. So then we will now within the constructor this road student form equal to we need to group the fields for the form. So here we can take this dot fp dot group. We can group the two fields. So within the method, we will take the values here. One is the name, and then next one is the branch. So I'm saving this thing, and then the thing is successfully. So now, up to now, is it okay? Now we are going to store the data means we need to having the database. So that is the reason just I'm installing the JSON server here. So JSON command is npm install g JSON server. So I'm installing the JSON server here. So when the JSON server is installed, after that, yeah, if you want the commands means please raise your hand. I will put the commands in chat box. Yeah, I will
Like,
put the JSON server
doubt,
commands.
if you have any doubts till now, or if you stuck somewhere, please reach out. I mean, please. Someone raise hand.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, for the installation of the JSON server, this is the command. After installing this command, just run the execution command along with the JSON file. This is the execution command of the JSON server. So now the JSON server is run. Now in the browser, I will run the JSON server. So here in create, we are having the this one. Now in this we are get the JSON server having the three things here. So now I'm deleting all the things in the JSON server. I got the db.json file here. So in this I'm deleting the remaining things. Just I want only the one thing. So here I'm taking the students here and then ID, name, branch. Okay. I'm taking the name Ravi and then branch going to I'm taking randomly. So here the record and then again I'm going to browser and then checking here. So only students in the students just only I got only one record. Now I want to store these details, so I'm creating the one of the table in my home component. In home component HTML don't have the anything, just only this thing. Now so that's the reason I'm taking the table. So within the table I'm taking the one row. Within the row I want to the table headings. So that is the ID. So next one is the name. Next one is the branch. Where I'm taking the things and then uh, I want to store the all the things within the table. So that is the reason. Just I want to fetch the data using the service. So that is the reason I'm taking the here I'm shifting. I'm taking the one service. That command is the nggs. Service name is the data. So I'm taking this data. So now the service file is created here. Before using the service, we need to import the HTTP client module. That's the dependency here. Here HTTP client module. So here it is not coming means we need to import manually. Import HTTP client module from Angular common HTTP. So now the dependencies are clear in app.module.ts. So in app.module.ts, we can import the all the things. Okay. So after that, going to the service file. Here we are having the service file. So in this service file, we need to import the HTTP client. So in constructor, I'm doing the dependency injection here. Dependency injection means we need to import the thing here. So I'm taking the one of the private variable. Instance is the HTTP, and then this HTTP is the HTTP client here. So then this automatically imported here. Now I'm fetching the data by using the method. Services contains the methods, that methods contains the data. So here I'm creating the get students. So here I'm having the method is the get students. In this, I want to return the student list. So I want to return the student list. How should I return the student list? By fetching the HTTP only. So this is the mechanism to fetch the data from the server. So here I'm using this dot HTTP dot. Now I'm getting the details, right? So that is the reason here I'm using the get. I want the URL now. Where should I get the URL now? So here this is the URL. So I'm copying the URL from that. Now I'm saving this thing, and then now I want to use this method into home component.ts. Because of in home component only, I'm having the table. Within this logic file only, TypeScript file only, we get the things. So here we need to import that data service file here first. So I'm taking the one of the private variable, and instant is ds, and then service file is the data service. Here I'm clicking on that, it will be automatically imported here. So after that, ng on init. So we will get the get students. So I'm taking the method as get students. Within the method, I will write that this dot ts dot get students. Only I'm having only method, only one method. So that is the reason it will showing the get methods only. After that, I'm subscribing this method. Because of we are subscribing the method means then only we will get the response from that method, or whenever the method is updated, so we will get the updated data only. So in this response I'm getting, so I'm taking the any for this and then using the arrow function. So I'm getting the response. Now I want to store this response into the one empty array. So that is the reason here I'm taking the one of the variable is the students. So this is the variable declaration. Here I'm taking the variable is students and type is the data type any, and then we are taking the empty array. So now I'm using this thing and then store it into the table. So here this dot students equal to response. I'm storing this response into the students. Okay. So already I tell you at the life cycle of the NC. Here for on the construction only we will write this dot students method, sorry, this dot get courses, get students. So now we are having the data in the students. So now we will fetch this in data into the home component. Here one table I'm having the headings. So another one row we are having the headings. So in another row, we need to bind the data. So here we need to bind the data means if we are having the number of HTML list means we need to render that list. So now I'm taking the structural directive of the one of the structural directive is ng-for. So here I'm using the ng-for. Within that ng-for, I'm taking the let student of students. Because of the I'm getting the data of the students. So that's the reason here I'm taking this. Here table definition, I'm binding the data student dot id, and then next binding is the student dot name. Here is the student dot name. Sorry, student dot branch. Okay. Here these three we will fetch the data. So now we will get the data. Once we check if we are getting the data or not. See here we will hang the data. So now I'm having the only one thing because of the branch is not coming. Uh, we will check what happened. Definitely we will do the spelling mistakes only. Here branch, is it okay? Here also we are doing well. We'll check once in JSON file. Here we give the B is capital. So I'm doing now B is the small. We will check in browser now. We'll refreshing again. Now the branch will be came here. See, now this will be congested because of the I didn't applied any bootstrap for this. So if you use the bootstrap for this, if you are install bootstrap for this application, so it will be very clearly. So I'm using npm install bootstrap, and then after this completion, in style.sas, here I'm importing the thing at the rate import. In node modules only it will be imported. So that's the reason I'm selecting the node modules, and then bootstrap, here dist files, and then cs files, bootstrap.min.css file. So I'm declaring the paths also. So we will check what happened in the browser. So this is not affected because of the in home component.html we are taking the only table. When you are give the class equal to table, it will apply to that thing. See here now just it will be changing. Okay. So this is the fetching the data from the server. Now whenever you click on the data, we need to submit the data. The data will be stored in the table. And again, I'm telling about the thing is the create now. So for create, first in that uh, service, we need to create the student. So I'm using the same thing here. Return this dot http dot add means here post. This is the technical word for the creation or adding the form. In the technical word is post. I'm using the same URL because of I'm do the preparation in JSON server only. This is the JSON server, and then here we need to pass the body because of the here we are adding the data means we need to send something here. So for that something we need to keep a one name. So here I'm send the one student record. So that is the reason in the params I'm passing the student. So this one is clear now. And then in the create.component.ts, in the submit button, I'm doing in the submit also. Here we need to import this data structure. I'm taking the one of the private variable. I'm dependency injection, DS, data service. Here, data service is injected. Here, I'm calling this method this dot ds dot. I'm creating the record now. So create student. In this create student method, here I'm sending the values. Which values? Student form values. So this dot student form dot values I'm sending to the. So here I'm subscribing this method. So again, whenever I get the response, that response will be I mentioned here any. After that, I'm using the arrow method. Here I'm getting nothing. Just I'm posted the data to the server. So here, whenever I'm clicking on the submit method, I want to go back the table. So that is the reason here I'm giving this dot router dot. Here router is not there. So that is the reason here I'm taking the one of the private variable. Router is the instant and actual thing is the router here. So router already we know router means it will route the one HTML to another HTML. Here navigate by URL and then here I'm removing only one slash. See what happening here now. So I'm going to the table application. Here I'm clicking on the create button. Here I'm selecting the field is one branch is tribally. I'm click on the submit button. Whenever I'm click on the submit button, it will remove the slash and then come back to the table. Here the data will be adding here. So whenever we click on the create, it will see here just we are slash and create. Whenever you submit the data, it will going back to removing the slash. Here I'm with empty form only. I'm clicking the submit. That is the reason here I'm getting the ID is 3. So if you click on the this thing JSON server, whenever you refreshing here, first and second two having the data, third one having the without data. Okay, so this is up to the fetching the data from the server and then creating the records. Anil, can I continue with the edit and delete or either need to conduct any question and answers?
Yeah, I think we are running out of time. I think so far, if you have any queries, then we can wind up the wrap up the session.